Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of Casey Crime Photographer going back to December 18th, 1947. Well, the life of the party?
The Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation brings you Crime Photographer.
Hiya, Casey.
Hi, Ethelbert. Well, I see you got the windows and mirrors all dolled up again for the holiday.
Yeah, the same guy comes every winter and paints them for us.
Like little Jack Frost.
Huh?
You remember, when you were a kid, they told you Jack Frost painted those ice flowers on the window.
Hey, that's a good one. I'll try it on Tony. Hey, Tony.
Yeah?
Who's the famous artist that paints on glass?
Oh, that's easy. Jack Frost. And speaking of glass, everybody knows that Anchor Hocking is the most famous name in glass. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Marvin. Every week at this time, the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, and its more than 10,000 employees bring you another adventure of Casey, crime photographer, ace cameraman who covers the crime news of a great city. Written by Alonzo Dean Cole, our adventure for tonight, The Life of the Party. One of the most interesting sections of our city is known as Whittaker Grange, with its winding streets and century-old houses where artists have established a colony. The more successful live and work in a narrow, dead-end alley called Gedney's Close. And in the late afternoon, a familiar, battered-looking automobile pulls up near the entrance of Gedney's Close as...
I guess we'll have to park here, Annie. They don't let you drive into this alley.
Well, I prefer to walk the rest of the way, Casey. I love to look at these old houses.
Oh, you do? Well, I got my camera and stuff. Come on, let's go.
Okay?
Higgins' studio is that big stone barn at the dead end there.
I'm going to get a big thrill out of seeing his studio and meeting him again. I think Andre Higgins is our greatest living sculptor.
Well, he was. He hasn't been producing top quality lately, though. The art critics say this new bronze group that you're going to interview him about is only run-of-the-mill.
I know. He's too busy playing to really work, I guess.
Yeah. It's a sweet-scented crowd he plays around with, too.
Well, I've never met any of them except his model, Marcel. She's certainly no bargain.
Oh, wait a minute, Annie. She's the only one who is a bargain. That gal's the most gorgeous brunette I've ever looked at.
Really?
Well, I mean of her type, Annie.
I don't know how a cultured, mature man like Andre Higgins can stand having her around, let alone be in love with her, as he apparently is.
Well, at least she's not dangerous. I can't say that for one of Andre's other pals.
Who?
Blister Hoagland.
He's a pal of Andre Higgins?
Well, they've seen together a lot.
Casey, Blister Hoagland's suspected of a couple of murders. The cops have been trying to nail him for years.
Uh-huh.
How can Higgins associate with a man like that?
I don't know. He's a strange guy. Like all famous artists, he attracts parasites who live on reflected glory. He's either too weak or too good-natured to give him the brush off, I guess. Uh-oh. Hey, look at that guy. He just came out of Higgins' place just now.
Casey, he must be headed for a costume party.
Yeah, look at the green velvet pants on him.
He's fantastic, and that bright yellow smock, and a red beret.
If he goes outside of this deserted alley, a cop will pinch him for obstructing traffic. Annie!
What's he doing with that big knife?
He stabbed himself,
Casey.
Annie. Quick, come on.
He's falling to the sidewalk. Oh, I can see the knife handle sticking out of his chest. And there's blood.
He drove that blade right into his heart.
Is he dead?
We gotta get a doctor, quick.
Yeah, I'm the police.
This guy came out of Higgins' place. Punch that doorbell, Annie, will you?
The door's opening.
Hello, Casey. Miss Williams.
Andre, come here.
I saw you two from my window, so I... What's happened here?
This guy just committed suicide.
We saw him do it.
Good heavens.
Well, who is he? Why did he come out of...
He's Bertram Farland, art student.
Student? Well, he looks at least 50 years old.
Well, I'm glad the poor devil can't hear you say that, Miss Williams. He liked women to think of him as young. He was the life of every party he attended. That should be his epitaph. He was the life of the party.
Oh, poor fellow.
Well, he's gone, and there's nothing we can do to bring him back. Come inside and meet some friends of mine. We're having cocktails. What can I make for you, Miss Williams?
Mr. Higgins.
Hey, wait a minute, Andre. You knew this guy. He just killed himself in front of your door.
And it was most inconsiderate of him. Oh, I know you think I'm callous, but I'm a realist. Well, now that I've spoken so frankly, how about a cocktail?
We'll skip it.
Definitely.
Well, now, apparently I've shocked you. My guests are coming out.
Why are you staying outside so long, Andre?
Yeah, what's the big idea?
Andre, I want you to make me another drink. Oh, Casey.
Hello, Marcel.
Oh, mon Dieu. Why is Bert lying on the sidewalk?
He's committed suicide, Marcel.
Suicide?
A knife in his chest.
He stabbed himself, Tom.
The poor sap. Did it because of Marcel, I suppose.
Probably, Daisy.
Well, I could not help it if he was in love with me and I did not want to make marriage with him. He knew my heart belonged to Andre.
He should have. You tell the world your heart belongs to Andre. When Andre's around.
How do you mean that last part, Daisy?
Never mind. Miss Williams, Casey, you know Marcel, of course.
Yeah?
Certainement, I know Casey. And Miss Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've met Mrs. Leland Carmichael, noted for her wealth, the 5 husbands she's divorced, and her vulgar display of diamonds.
Gals who can get husbands get 'em, Andre, and gals who can buy diamonds wear 'em. Glad to meet you, chums. Call me Daisy.
And this is Tom Thompson. He's a mere artist and a bad one.
Candor can sometimes be more unpleasant than refreshing, Andre. Nice to know you, Miss Williams. Mr. Casey.
Thanks.
Now let us all go inside and get a drink.
Oh, wait a minute. We'll have to do something about poor Bert, won't we?
Oh, don't bother. Let 'em lay.
Oh, I've never met such as callous, inhuman people in my life.
Neither have I. And Higgins, I never could figure you, but I kidded myself you were a right guy. Now I see you're nothing but a louse. As for these characters you call your friends,
Why,
get out of my way. I'm going into your joint and call the cops.
And I'm going with you.
What?
Oh, they're laughing, Casey.
Yeah. Annie, look at the dead guy.
He's getting up. With the handle of that knife still sticking out.
It's a gag.
Oh,
Now
no.
you fell for it, chums.
Miss Williams, Casey, meet the late corpse, Bert Fallon.
Oh, me. If you could have seen yourselves when you thought I'd done a harry-carry.
The old collapsible knife trick and a little red ink to make it look better.
Yeah. The knife blade slipped into the handle when I hit myself. See?
We've been a fine pair of dopes, Casey.
You don't pay a thing. Bert cooked up the joke when I mentioned you were coming, and we watched for you. Why, I hope you're not sore.
Oh, no, anything but.
We can take it. And you certainly handed it out.
Yeah. Oh, you'll get a laugh on somebody else before you leave here. I'll see to that.
You can depend on Bert. He's quite a prankster.
Yeah, I know a million gags.
Our little Bert loves fun.
Well, why shouldn't I, Daisy? Fun never hurt anybody.
That's a debatable question.
What do you mean, Tom?
Oh, do not talk so much, Bert. Let's all go inside.
Come on, I want a drink.
Let's go in, Casey. Miss Williams? Oh, close the door, Tom, and keep the common people out.
What a lovely studio you have, Mr. Higgins. It's so big.
Oh, thank
You
you.
can lose yourself in this barn. Say, where's Blister?
I'd forgotten that.
Here I am.
Oh, he's sitting behind that statue.
Miss Williams, Casey, let me present Mr. Hoagland.
We already know Blister Hoagland.
How'd you like the gag they pulled on you, Casey? It's pretty good, huh?
Good enough. We fell for it.
I know. I was watching from the window.
Why didn't you come outside with the others? You'd have made the gag better.
Just how?
Well, if I'd seen you around, I'd have thought Bert Fallon's phony suicide was a murder.
Why would you have thought that?
You've done several jobs of killing, haven't you?
Cops never proved it.
They'll get the goods on you someday. Your luck will run out.
I don't like this kind of talk.
Blister!
Okay, Andre, I'm a good-natured guy who never loses his temper. Casey's sore because Bert's suicide gag made him look like a sap and he's trying to needle me to get even. But I'm a good sport. I can take things as they come and laugh with... Oh!
What's the matter?
My foot's on fire! The old hot foot gag, Blister. I snuck up and stuck a match in your shoe.
Why?
I told you, Casey, you'd get a laugh on somebody
You
else.
lousy little clown out. Let him go, Blister. Let go of him or I'll hit.
Okay, Casey. Sorry, everybody. The joke's on me. Have a drink with me, Bert, old pal.
Let's all have a drink. Come on.
I need
Hey, Andre, make me one of my special
Blister would have killed that little man if you had stopped him, Casey.
Yeah,
We really stepped into something when we came here today.
I'll say we did.
I'd like to get out of here, Casey.
Yeah, so would I, Annie. You came here for an interview, and until you get it, we're going to stay, I guess.
I simply haven't been able to pin Higgins down. He's all over the place.
So is everybody else.
How can a man like Higgins put up with such people? They have no talent, no intellect, nothing to recommend them.
Daisy, that big overstuffed gal, told me this was dear Andre's inner circle.
Oh. Casey,
Huh?
do you think all those diamonds that Daisy wears are the real thing?
No, she told me they're imitations. All except the big headlights she wears on her finger. That's a lot of carats of the real McCoy. She says she's superstitious. She always wears it because her first husband gave it to her for luck.
She's taking a big chance wearing anything valuable around a crook like Blister Hoagland. And I wouldn't trust that Marcel very far either.
You don't like Marcel, do you, Annie?
I never met such a phony. Look at her over there. Chewing gum like a chopping machine. And playing footy-footy with Thompson.
Seems to be a little double-timing going on with that young artist. She's been Higgins' gal for a long time.
Huh.
Well,
Shh, here comes Higgins.
Well, what are you two doing there by yourself?
Your party sort of wandered away from us, Andre.
People do scatter out in this big barn. Come on to the barn. Let me fill your glass.
No, thanks. We're working people.
I gotta get that story from you, Mr. Higgins.
Now, you can ply me with questions over the next drink, Miss Williams.
Is that a promise?
Definite promise. Come on now.
No. Okay.
Hi, Daisy. I found him in the jungle, and I'm bringing him back alive.
Good hunting, chum.
Marcel, Tom, you gather around, too.
Come, Tommy. Andre wants us.
the master's voice.
I'm not gonna get that interview, Casey.
Not right now.
Blister!
Huh? What do you want?
I'm gathering the clan. Come to the bar.
Oh, I was grabbing a nap.
I'm gathering the clan. I'm bringing in the sheep.
Higgins has gotten himself a snootful, Annie.
So is Daisy. Look at her.
Now that we're all together.
Now, quiet, all of you, please. Now that we're all together, my dearest friends.
We're not all here. Where's Bert?
Oh, yeah. Now, where's Bert? Oh, hey, Bert!
Andre, chérie, maybe he's asleep someplace. Do not wake him up. It is so peaceful here without...
Oh, now we need Bert Marcel. He's always the life of the party.
The party's better without his kind of life. No unfunny comedy, no practical jokes.
Tom, Bert's our pal.
Yeah, maybe your pal.
The last gag he pulled handed me a swell laugh. Your foot still feel hot, Blister?
Yeah, that was very funny, Daisy.
The way you took it was. Trying to kill the poor twerp.
Now lay off, will you?
Maybe I'd better, knowing your reputation.
I gotta find Bert. Bert!
Yeah, where is
Tommy, while Andre is looking, you fix me a fresh drink.
Okay, Marcel.
Will somebody have a stick of chewing gum? Oh, I forgot. Nobody uses it but me.
We sometimes get the benefit of it after you've used it. You shouldn't stick the wads of it on chairs. Fill my glass too, Tom. Here.
Ow!
What's the matter?
My ring's gone.
You're kidding.
My big diamond, the real one.
Well, you had it on me. You were talking to me, Daisy.
I know it, Casey. I was talking to you and Bert about... Bert! He was holding my hand after you left. He slipped it off.
Bert wouldn't steal a ring.
Well, of course he wouldn't, Tom. It's another of his unfunny jokes. Where is the run? Let me get my hands on him.
Don't that hand me a laugh.
Oh, shut up, Blister.
Marcel, Casey.
Yes, Andre?
Everyone.
What's the matter?
Come here.
What is it?
What is it?
I've just found Bert. Dead.
Dead.
Is this another gag?
No, he's not breathing. I think he's been murdered.
Our story will continue in just a moment.
From December 18th, 1947, Casey, crime photographer on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
And here's the Cinnamon Bear.
The oldest known children's Christmas cereal in radio history, the Cinnamon Bear, featuring some of the most popular actors in radio history, including Elliot Lewis, Joseph Kearns, Verna Felton, Lou Merrill, Frank Nelson, Howard McNear, and child actress Barbara Jean Wong. 85 years later, this series of Judy and Jimmy traveling to Maybeland to recover their silver stars still fascinates youngsters of all ages. Now we're offering the entire 26-episode series of The Cinnamon Bear via download for a Buy Me a Coffee donation of $10 or more at classicradio.stream. Support Classic Radio Theater and have The Cinnamon Bear for your family to enjoy for years to come. Go to classicradio.stream and donate $10 or more, and I'll send you a link for immediate download. classicradio.stream. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Casey Crime Photographer, December 18th, 1947.
I found him lying here, behind the statue, just as you see him, Casey.
Well, he's dead, all right.
A knife through his throat.
In just the right spot, Anne, so he'd make no sound.
But who could have killed him?
It had to be someone here, Marcel.
Definitely. You tried to kill him earlier this evening, Blister.
Now, don't you point the finger at me, Daisy.
You've been suspected of other killings.
Now, be careful, Tom.
You did it, please.
I didn't. I swear I didn't.
I think the cops will nail it on you.
With all of you against me, accuse me, maybe they will. But I'm giving them no chance. I'm doing a lamb.
You're not leaving here.
Yes, I am.
He's got a gun, Casey.
Keep away from me, all of you. Not taking a rap for something I didn't do. I'm getting out of here. Anyone who tries to stop me gets a bullet.
Andre.
Andre, you shot him.
One has the right to shoot an escaping murderer. Luckily, I had a gun. Phone the police, Casey.
Okay, Andre. Good job of shooting you did. You caught Blister squarely between the eyes.
That's the complete story, Casey.
I don't think I've left out anything, Logan.
Now, what do you say, Miss Williams?
Oh, I can think of nothing that Casey hasn't told you, Captain.
No. Sergeant, have you finished searching those two bodies?
Just now, Captain. There's no diamond ring on the guy who was stabbed or on Blister Hoagland either.
I'll have the men do a detailed search of this studio for it.
Yes, sir.
You know, that ring may have no connection with Fallon's stabbing, Casey.
Look, Logan, when a hunk of ice worth a good 15 grand is missed at about the same time that a guy suspected of taking it is found murdered.
I know. Casey, do you think Blister killed Bert?
Well, Logan, I did. I fell into line with everybody else who was accusing him because I wasn't thinking then. Well, now I don't know.
But you'll testify that Higgins was justified in shooting Blister.
I'll have to. The guy was a murder suspect. He threatened us with a gat, and he tried to escape.
I'd have shot him myself if I'd had a gun.
Not as accurately as Higgins did.
It was good shooting.
Higgins told us he does a lot of pistol practice.
Yeah, he told me that when he showed me his permit for the gat he used. You say Higgins discovered Fallon's body.
But your police surgeon says Fallon was dead at least 15 minutes before the discovery was made. You can't think Higgins had anything to do with it.
I'm simply thinking, Miss Williams. Nobody recalls seeing anybody near the spot where Fallon was found?
Well, we were all scattered all over this barn of a place, Logan, moving around. You know what parties are like.
Everyone excepting yourselves had been drinking pretty heavily and was inclined to be quarrelsome.
Marcel hadn't had much to drink.
Too busy crunching gum.
Higgins wasn't quarrelsome.
And he was tight.
Until he found the body, that sobered him up.
Yeah, it naturally would. The fat gal who lost her ring. She have a lot of dough?
A couple of millions, Fallon told him.
What about Thompson?
Thompson's an art student. He goes in for, this surrealism, that kind of stuff.
Goes for that Marcel, babe.
Yeah.
Captain Logan.
Yes, Sergeant?
We just found a ring.
The diamond ring?
There's no diamond in it, sir. The stone's been pried out.
Pried out?
Let me see.
Here.
Yeah. Prongs have been forced apart.
That's the setting that held Daisy's diamond, Logan.
Uh-huh. Now bring the fat gal in here, Sergeant. Bring all the witnesses in here.
Yes, sir.
Well, this proves that ring wasn't simply lost.
It doesn't prove, but it certainly indicates.
And how, Logan? Look. Bert Fallon slipped the ring off Daisy's finger as a joke, but somebody saw him do it and got an idea.
Yeah?
And that somebody killed the little guy, took the ring, pried out the $15,000 stone because it was easier to conceal. Then he just sat tight. Then when Fallon's dead body was discovered, it was a cinch that Blister would be immediately suspected and accused of the murder. And if he'd gotten away with his run out, even for a short time, no one would believe that he hadn't stolen the diamond in addition to knifing Fallon.
Now, Higgins's gunshot spoiled things for the real thief and killer.
Sure, because Blister was killed before he could leave this studio. And your search of his body proves he didn't have the diamond.
Now, if your theory is right, it eliminates Higgins and the fat gal. She had no reason to steal her own diamond.
It leaves only Thompson and Marcel.
Yeah.
Casey, I think your theory's 100%.
Well, thanks, Ellie.
All right, inside.
Sergeant Flanagan's bringing them in.
Now, let's go over and meet him halfway. Now, you people sit down. Make yourselves comfortable.
Oh, thank you. Here's your pet chair, Marcel.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Have you found my ring, Captain?
We haven't found your diamond, Mrs. Leland Carmichael.
Oh, dear.
Well, they will find it, Dave.
Well, I hope so, Andre. You know it's my luck.
I'm going to ask a few personal questions, starting with you, Mr. Thompson.
All right.
Have you any money of your own?
That is personal.
I can get it from other sources if you don't tell me.
I'm an artist. A bad one, many people think, which means I'm always broke.
Yeah. Thanks. What's your financial status, Marcel?
Why, I have only what I make as a model and what Mr. Higgins gives me besides.
What do you give her besides, Mr. Higgins?
I'm afraid I haven't been very generous with Marcel.
Oh, but you have, Sherry. $100 a month just for spending money?
Give you any diamonds?
No. I do not care for diamonds.
Any woman who says that is a liar.
Do not say I lied, Daisy.
Pipe down. Marcel, Thompson.
Huh?
Which of you two has that stolen diamond?
Stolen diamond?
Which one of us?
Bluff won't do you any good. Will you hand it over, or must we search the two of you?
Oh, I have never been so insulted. Search me immediately. I demand that you search me.
You seem very sure of yourself.
Of course she's sure. This girl wouldn't steal anything, Captain.
Now, we're going to see about that, Mr. Higgins. Sergeant, send for a matron to search this girl.
Right, Captain. Say, Logan, maybe you can save yourself a lot of trouble.
Huh?
A quick way to hide a diamond would be to wrap it in a wad of chewing gum.
Chewing gum?
Yes. There's one on the edge of Marcel's favorite chair.
Now, let's see.
Marcel is the only one here who chews that stuff.
I put nothing inside my chewing gum.
Someone put something inside this
Here's
wad.
a knife, Logan. Scrape the stuff off.
I didn't. I swear I didn't.
It's a diamond.
It's my diamond.
I didn't.
We'll go into that at headquarters, Marcel, thoroughly. I'm taking you there now.
No, do not let him, Andre. Help me.
Wait.
And that's what we'll do till after the bottom of the hour break. Wait. Casey Crime Photographer, December 18, 1947 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of Casey Crime Photographer, December 18th, 1947. I think we were about to hear a confession.
I stole that diamond, Captain.
You, Thompson?
Yeah. I hid it where you found it. Now, let Marcel go.
You think this Thompson's confession was just a noble act, huh, Casey?
Oh, sure. Of course it was, Ethelbert. So is Lowe.
Yeah, so am I. Thompson's so crazy about that phony Marcel, he'd go to the chair to protect her.
Maybe they both done it together. You say the suspects was eliminated down to just them two?
On the basis of my theory.
Huh?
But I can't see her doing it cold-bloodedly for no better motive than a diamond too hot to wear and too hot to sell.
Well, she could have had a double motive, Casey. You and Miss Williams say the dead guy was one of them practical jokers. Ain't you ever wanted to knock off one of them pests?
Ethelbert has something there, Casey.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a lot. Excuse me, I'm going for a walk.
I'll go with you.
No. I want to be alone. Think.
Come in, Casey.
Thanks, Andre. Hope I'm not disturbing your work.
Well, I'm scarcely in the mood for work after what happened here last evening. Anyway, I've been away from the studio until a few minutes ago. I was down at the jail with Marcel.
Oh. How is she today?
Oh, she feels utterly friendless. She even thinks I'm against her.
You're trying to help her. You believe she's innocent.
Naturally.
How does she feel about Thompson?
That the idiot's phony grandstand confession strengthened the circumstantial case against her.
That was the net result of it. Mind if I sit down, Andre?
Oh, yes, please do. Oh, are you paying me this unexpected but welcome visit as a newspaper man or as a friend, Casey?
Just as a guy.
Oh.
Say, Andre, what's your frank opinion of Mrs. Leland Carmichael, Daisy?
Why, she's an all-around good fellow.
Very superstitious, isn't she?
That's very.
And so I gathered from her talk about that ring. She kind of got on my nerves last night. She's too common. She's too bossy.
Well, Daisy can be a bit trying.
Yes, and Marcella, $1 million worth of looks and quarters worth of brains. She'd be hard to take as a steady diet.
Now, really, Casey,
Lister was hard to take, and Thompson and Bert Fallon. But all these people had fastened onto you like leeches.
What are you driving at?
Just this. You saw a chance to get rid of all of them in one sweep last night, and you took it. You got Daisy's diamond, you planted it to frame Marcel, you killed Fallon, and then Blister, so you could be free.
How will you prove this idea of yours?
The cops will prove it when I sell them on it.
You haven't done that yet?
No. I wanted to spring it on you first and see how you'd react. Your face has told me that my theory is good.
What does this reaction tell you?
I thought the cops impounded that gun you killed Blister with.
They did. This is another. No one else will realize the motive for what I did. I didn't kill for profit or because of hatred. I simply had to be free to the friends who were wrecking my life. They were driving me mad. I was too weak, too cowardly to send them away. Now you threaten my freedom, so I must kill again.
No, you don't. You broke out his gun, Sergeant. Get the cuffs on it. Yeah.
All done, Captain.
Logan, I was beginning to think you'd make your play just a little too late.
You policemen were hiding it.
Yeah. We let ourselves in here while you were visiting Marcel at the jail.
Casey, you said you hadn't told anyone.
I'll never trust a newspaper guy, Andre. We're terrible liars.
I gave you your notion about Higgins, Casey?
You sure did, Albert. When you said everybody would like to kill pests.
Yeah, but nobody does kill them. They just say they'd like to.
Well, there's always the exceptional person.
A fact naturally only realized by an exceptional person like our Mr. Casey.
Exactly, Miss Williams, and thank you, Miss Williams.
You're welcome.
Well, anyway, when I started to think seriously of pest extermination as a motive, the parts that hadn't fit fell right into place.
There's two parts that don't fit for me.
Yeah, what's that?
Higgins killed Fallon, framed Marcel for the murder and robbery, and then shot Blister Hoagland to make the frame stick. That's 3 pests he figured out of his way, but he wanted to be rid of 2 more, Thompson and Daisy.
Well, Marcel was the attraction that made Thompson hang around Higgins' place. Once she was removed, he'd be removed.
And Daisy was intensely superstitious. She'd never risk her luck around Higgins again.
Oh. I don't approve of Higgins' methods, Casey, but I got sympathy for his feelings. Oh, how I'd like to make a clean sweep of a lot of pests.
Good night, Ethelbert.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Great.
Crime Photographer, starring Staats-Cotsworth as Casey, is brought to you each Thursday by the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation, makers of Fire King oven glass, Anchor glass containers, Anchor caps and closures, all products of Anchor Hocking, the most famous name in glass. Photographer is directed by John Dietz. The original music is by Archie Blyer, and the program features Miss Jan Miner as Anne and John Gibson as Ethelbert. Herman Chittison is the Blue Note pianist. Salvation Army kettles are here. Help bring the other million a bit of Christmas cheer. Let's make this Christmas a happy one for our American kids by dropping a coin in a Salvation Army Christmas kettle.
December 18th, 1947, Casey, Crime Photographer on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now another episode of The Cinnamon Bear, December 18th, 1937 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
It's getting closer and closer to Christmas, and Judy and Jimmy and their friends are still a long way from getting the Silver Star mended. Queen Melissa's last instructions directed them to the Golden Grove, where they were supposed to find a most valuable clue underneath the singing tree. No sooner had they entered the grove and started to look for the tree than right out of nowhere jumped that wicked old wintergreen witch. If only Judy hadn't given her looking glass to the wooden Indian, chief cook and bottle washer, she might have held it in front of the witch's face and scared her, like she did on the island of Obi. But when Wintergreen learned that Judy no longer had the dreadful looking glass, she right then and there decided to change the twins and Cinnamon Bear and the Crazy Quilt Dragon into bullfrogs. And it looks like nothing in the world or Maybeland can stop her. She just laughs and laughs and laughs.
I'll teach you to tattle on the Wintergreen Witch. I'll teach you to trifle with my reputation.
Please, Mrs. Witch.
I told you once never to call me Mrs. Witch.
Please don't turn us into bullfrogs. I never was very fond of bullfrogs.
I dare say they're all right in their way, but...
Keep still, all of you. Bullfrogs I want you to be, and bullfrogs you shall be. I'll begin my incantation.
Oh, dear.
Mumbo jumbo, abracadabra. Ooh. Mumbo jumbo, abracadabra. Ooh. Mumbo jumbo.
Gee, we're not bullfrogs yet, Judy.
I guess maybe she has to say some more things first.
Well, I don't feel in the least like a bullfrog yet.
I know what's the matter. Definitely.
What is it, Crazy Quilt?
The witch can't change anybody into anything. Melissa has not only banished her from the island of Obi, but has taken away her magical powers.
Oh, she's tearing her hair out.
Let her tear it. So, you would turn perfectly respectable citizens of Mabyland and the USA into bullfrogs, would you? Garah.
And so, my hideous hag, you would cast your weird spells on us, would you? Ha ha. Well, where is your black art now, may I ask?
It seems that I can't do as I wished and change your babbling mouths to those of croaking bullfrogs. Let it be so. Melissa has done me one more bad turn, which I won't forget. But I still have what's left of your silver star.
Oh, my word, so she has.
You give it back, you nasty old witch.
Try and make me. My power may be gone, but I can still run faster than the wind. I'll take your star and throw it where you'll never see it again.
Oh, dear.
I'll run to the other side of the Golden Grove. It's the northern boundary of Mabyland, and there on the other side is a great abyss which separates it from the snow country. I'll throw your silver star down in that bottomless abyss.
No, you won't. I can run, too.
Capture, Jimmy.
You bet.
Try and catch me.
I'll do my best, you woe-begone witch.
I'm not exactly built for speed, but I'll stay with you.
Gee willikers, she fell down.
Now she's picking herself up again.
My goodness, she fell down again.
Bless my stuffing, what goes on here?
One moment, my good woman. 1 moment, prithee.
Who's that?
Jumpin' gee willikers, it's the Grand Wunkey. I wonder what he's doing here.
Well, hello, friend Wunkey. What is the meaning of your welcome presence in these parts?
Hello. Greetings from Melissa and all that. Just a moment, please. I'm here in my official capacity right now. Wintergreen.
What do you want?
I simply want to tell you that you had better be a good witch, because you are surrounded by the very best quality A#1 witch-proof invisible net, and you cannot pursue your nefarious schemes any longer.
Oh, so that's what tripped her up and made her fall.
Oh, yes, indeed. Melissa's been watching you with a great deal of interest. Just toss that star back to the children, Wintergreen. There's a good witch. Oh. No. Now, do you have to be so unpleasant about it? Dear me, what an odious person you are, to be sure.
Does Melissa know what has happened to us, Grand Wunkey?
Oh, my, yes. Melissa knows everything that goes on in Mabyland. She sent me here to take charge of the Wintergreen Witch. Now, just step lively there, you ex-witch. Give the star back to the young man there.
There.
Oh, boy. Thank you so much, Grand Wunkey.
Not at all. Just on the line of duty, you know.
Well, now that you're here at the scene of the crime, so to speak, could you be telling us which one of these trees in the Golden Grove is the singing tree Melissa sent us to find?
You know, I'm terribly sorry, but I haven't the remotest idea. I'm afraid you'll have to find that for yourselves. I'm here purely on business, you understand.
Which business?
Yes, which business? I've been instructed to take the Wintergreen Witch into exile. So come along now, Wintergreen, old thing.
Oh, where are you taking me? Have you no heart to take a poor old defenseless woman with no home, no place to lay her tired head, or somewhere she's never been?
My. I have no time to bandy words with you. Come on, Wintergreen.
Oh, son, think what you would do if your own mother were in my plight.
Oh, where are you taking this old reprobate Wunkey?
Melissa has instructed me to conduct her to the Looking-Glass Valley to spend the rest of her days.
Gee willikers, if you take her there, she'll scare herself to death looking at that face of hers.
Grand Wunkey, if you take the mean old witch to Looking-Glass Valley, you'd better take away the airplane you'll find at the bottom. Oh, that was the one Cinnamon Bear took Jimmy and me in before we landed in Looking-Glass Valley. If you leave it there, she might be able to get out again and bother folks.
An airplane, did you say? Dear me, yes, I shall certainly give orders to have it removed to Melissa's palace, where you may plane it when you wish. We mustn't give the Wintergreen Witch any opportunity of returning to circulation. No.
Oh, you're taking me to Looking-Glass Valley. Do you realize what you're doing? Condemning me to spend the rest of my life in stark, staring madness, looking at my reflection.
Poor Wintergreen. You've been mean to us, but I'm sorry for you there. Can't you close your eyes if you don't want to look at yourself?
No, I can't. Witches can't sleep. Can't even close their eyelids, 'cause they haven't any.
Well. Come along, Wintergreen. Melissa's orders must be carried out to the letter, you know. Step lively now.
Goodbye, Grand Wunkey. Thanks for everything.
And convey our best to dear Melissa.
And that goes for me, too.
Yes. Goodbye, all. Shake a limb there, Wintergreen. Oh, come. Don't loiter, and please don't hobble like that. My. Such welcome. Yes.
Oh, dear. It's too bad the Grand Wunkey didn't know which is the singing tree.
Oh, all the trees look alike. I don't see how we'll ever find it.
Yeah, thousands of them, thousands and thousands.
I'm afraid I'm getting a bit sleepish.
Oh, so am I.
You know, I think I could do with about 39 winks.
I think we all need a little nap. Maybe we could look if we weren't so tired.
Oh, I'm going to lie right down here under this big tree.
Can I lean on you, Crazy Quilt?
Oh, yes, go right ahead. Make yourself at home. How about you, Judy? Want to use me for a pillow, too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Cinnamon Bear's gone to sleep already. He's
Crazy Quilt. I think I hear music. Didn't.
Birds are singing a sleepy time song. Too sleepy to see the stars pass along. In my branches I rock their nest. Lullaby, rock-a-bye, close each wee sleepy eye, slumber and rest, slumber and rest. Here's the dream that I bring to you, a dream you may dream the whole night through, a bright adventure and golden quest, lullaby, rock-a-bye, close each wee sleepy eye, slumber and rest, slumber and I must have dropped off in spite of myself. Oh, hey, wake up, everybody. I mustn't sleep too long. Wake up.
Don't you? Say, you know, I'm sure I heard someone singing.
So did I.
I'm sure I did, too. Or maybe we just dreamed it, huh?
Well, look here. Why, this wasn't anywhere around when we all lay down to sleep.
Bless my stuffing. It's a huge silk hat.
Why, it's the biggest one I ever did see.
Jiminy Crickets. I thought Mr. Presto the magician had a big hat. But this is just simply enormous. Why, it's bigger than all of us put together.
Look, it's got windows in it.
And there are some letters painted on it. The Flying Hat. My word, what do you suppose this is?
You know what? I bet you we went to sleep under the singing tree. That's what. Remember we all thought we heard singing? And this great big hat is the clue Melissa said we'd find.
Sure enough. And see, Judy, here's a door in the hat.
My stuffing's getting more curious every minute.
Look, there's a note on the door.
I've got it. Just a minute.
Oh, Jimmy, hurry. What does it say?
Jumping gee willikers. Look.
I'm sorry, but we didn't get a chance to look, and I'm quite as curious as the Cinnamon Bear. Well, I suppose there's nothing to do but wait until next time to see what this flying hat is all about. And I'll be Johnny on the spot to get a real look at that note.
December 18th, 1937, The Cinnamon Bear, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We thank you for making us a part of your day. If you enjoy The Cinnamon Bear, want to get a copy for your kids, you can do that through our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com. He has The Cinnamon Bear, he has Mom and Abner, he has a whole bunch of other great shows that you can get from him on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. Contact Ted at RadioMemories.com. Visit my webpage, which is classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows on demand, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there. You can find our social media links. There's a list of places where you can download Classic Radio Theater, and you can also buy me a coffee. Now, the buy me a coffee money doesn't buy me coffee. It doesn't. But what it will let you do is it will let you help us acquire additional classic radio collections and help us maintain our distribution channels. That's at classicradio.stream. Also, please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around. And by all means, tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.